Alright, been a while since I've done one like this one. Good evening, darlings and deviants. My name is Lucy and I'm just a little loony. You may, reasonably, be wondering what this video is and maybe where videos have been in general. Well, to put it simply, as much as I want to make cool videos for Magic, it's just been a bit hard to actually do so. It feels like there's been a block in the way. And it's not because I don't have ideas. It's not writer's block. I have plenty of neat things on the back burner. My folder is filled up with scripts and neat ideas, but it's hard when every decision I see from Wizards keeps making it harder to foresee the game being something I continue to enjoy. I've had a bunch of scripts rotting in my folders for a while, but just like last time I had an issue with making things, I don't think that block is going to go away unless I just blast on through it. Ergo, here is me blasting on through it. I kinda need to have topics so I can focus my thoughts together, so I'll put the video into three main reasons why I'm struggling with making Magic content. First off, I'll talk about Magic itself. Second, I'll talk about how I've been enjoying other games a lot. And third, I'll talk about how I've had ideas for content about those games that has been living rent-free in my brain nonstop. So, without further ado, let's start the show. For one, Magic has been a bit rough for me this year. As you all know, I went to MagicCon Chicago on the New Perspectives grant, and let me tell you, it was amazing. I got to meet so many cool people, and when I got home, I was energized and ready to get back into making stuff for everyone. But then Wizards kept announcing things, and announcing things, and announcing things. And let me be clear, none of this is about Tarkir. No spoilers, the story is great so far, and the spoilers are fantastic, and none of it is about Tarkir at all. I love Tarkir. It's great. I love it. But if anything, it's the problems I'm facing are with universes beyond. And again, to be perfectly clear, I am a-okay with universes beyond as a concept. While I may not always agree with their theming, I've always been a fan of bringing fans from other games or shows or, any sort of other properties into Magic the Gathering. I love Final Fantasy XIV, I adore Marvel Comics, Avatar is one of my favorite cartoons of all time, and they all have their own ways of fitting into the multiverse of Magic. So, what do I have to complain about, you may ask? Well, have you ever heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy? Late last year, we were told that a return to Lorwyn was being pushed back in order to facilitate a third Universes Beyond set for a year. We are going to put a pin in that. Next, we were told that Universes Beyond would be standard legal, which makes sense, I suppose. You either have to choose to make them Commander only or standard legal, and otherwise it's going to confuse those Universes Beyond newbies about how they can play with their favorite characters. Like with the Lord of the Rings, it was modern and it's kind of Commander legal, and that's really not how you want to introduce people into the game. Assassin's Creed kind of fumbled the ball at every single front there, and all the other ones are just Commander decks, so if you have other people looking into Universes Beyond, it may get confusing, so it's better to make one definitive statement of what it is forever. But once again, we're going to put a pin in that. Everything is standard legal, and they pushed a setback for a Universes Beyond set. Finally, we were told Universes Beyond sets, even though they're going to go through standard, are going to be more expensive for no other reason than more money equals good.
Oh, but Lucy, what about the licensing costs?
That's not an excuse. If you're paying those fees, you're expecting the set to sell more. You are paying a cost for basically advertising. You are paying an extra little bit of money because you expect the set to sell more. That's where you recoup the cost. You don't shove that cost onto the consumer. You don't pay a premium on Lorcana packs just because it has Disney on the cover. That's part of why you're buying it in the first place. Everyone's made a video on the price hike and complain about it, but I'm going to complain about it too, because I feel this is going to lead to a bad spiral down for my favorite game ever. Since these are standard legal, they're going to sell. And sell well, as it's also drawing in competitive players and fans of the property in question. I know I may very well be picking up a copy of the Stola deck, but because of the increased price, it's going to draw in more numbers than mainline Magic the Gathering sets. Ergo, the demand will show as higher for those Universes Beyond sets, which naturally leads into more of them getting made. How long until the Magic Multiverse is just taken over by crossovers? And not even just crossovers, this stuff is just point and recognize this concept, consumers. Like, if Universes Beyond was getting crossovers with the Magic Multiverse, I would be so much more excited. What if we got a crossover with Planeswalkers teaming up with Marvel characters? Chandra plus the Human Torch? Jace waxing poetic with Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic? Lute hanging out with the Guardians of the Galaxy? Come on, that's cool! Heck, even with Avatar, you could focus on a new, original Avatar who has to master 5 elements instead of 4. I don't even have to tell you that, like, you can fit any of the Planeswalkers into a Final Fantasy setting. It doesn't, like, that's, I don't even have to tell you about that. But we don't get that. We get recognizable characters, and that's sort of it. And if that's selling more, then why would Hasbro want normal Magic sets to be made? If that's making more money, why would they keep making regular Magic sets? I know this is a bit cynical, but like, they haven't really given me a reason to be optimistic about this. In addition, we have no assurances or plans in place to reprint any of these cards. We've gotten a few of the secret layers, like the Stranger Things secret layer, the Walking Dead secret layer, the Street Fighter, all those got printed into regular Magic sets, but those were secret layers. We don't have plans to reprint stuff like Orcish Bowmasters or the One Ring, or really any other powerful cards from these Universes Beyond sets. So if there's a popular card that comes out that everybody wants in one of these standard sets, that's it. We don't know what they want to do to reprint those. And that all just leads to a bad feeling that even if the release cadence slows down, we'll just start seeing more and more Universes Beyond sets because that's how things are seen to sell. And while I don't think calling this process the Fortnitification of Magic isn't entirely accurate, it's the biggest game becoming just another vessel for poisonous nostalgia and just recognizability. The biggest card games right now are predominantly recognizable properties given rules text, and it just feels wrong. I can't think of a better word for it, and all that combines makes it just really hard to want to make stuff for Magic, because making stories in a Magic universe around Universes Beyond cards just feels awkward and bad. Which sort of leads into the second point. I've kind of just been having a lot more fun with other games. I've gotten to Yu-Gi-Oh! A bit, and while there's a learning curve and I've just started to dip my toes into the game, it's really fun. Hand traps are certainly something, but Magic has Force of Will and Force of Negation. I've played Modern before. I am not fazed by this. You have all gotten blown out by a Fierce Guardianship. Don't try to tell me that you can't understand why hand traps are good. Currently, I'm rocking the Blue Eyes structure deck and an amalgamation of 3 of them because while the Alice in Wonderland archetype, Malice, is what drew me in, it's a bit too expensive for a game I'm just jumping into, and I've been told by a few other players locally that it might be for the best to wait until the next reprint set. Not only that, but I've also really been getting into Marvel Rivals, like a ton. Still kind of getting my footing, and I haven't quite hopped into competitive yet, but it's been a blast with or without friends. And these are games I just really enjoy. And honestly, when I'm playing Magic, it's fantastic. Playing Magic kind of makes you forget about all the like business and like bad vibes that comes into it. And I still go to my LGS when I can. But it's been struggling to fire an FNM for a while, and finding randos for a 4-player commander game and everybody being on the same level and all those people being fun to play with is kind of a Herculean task in and of itself. I've just been enjoying other games a lot, which gave me a few ideas, such as making videos for these games. I used to love when people made, quote, actual champion spotlights for games like League of Legends and Overwatch, and I think making something like that for Marvel Rivals would be cool. Or maybe talking about an established card gamer breaking into Yu-Gi-Oh! Without a tutor in the space, just learning on her own. And of course, I love Final Fantasy XIV, so any number of guides on that, anything like that would be really fun. Who knows? I have had so many ideas for these games more than Magic because, well, Magic seems like it's not interested in telling its own stories anymore. It's a focus for sure, and when the team behind those stories is doing a fantastic job when they get the chance to be behind the wheel, but those same stories that inspired me to make this channel, to be a part of this space, to make something for you all, when those stories begin to take a back seat, it begins to dull my passion a little bit. And I will be entirely honest, I don't think a lot of Magic players like seeing non-gameplay stuff. Like, a lot of videos that are not quite the, like, essay-long experiences that Spice 8 Rack or Ristic Studies tend to make, those typically don't make more they don't hit as hard. And like I'm I'm not saying that these are bad for people. Like I'm not saying it's bad. These are great videos. The ones that are like gameplay is great. A lot of the people making these are wonderful personalities and there's a reason people like being around a table with them. But I am a one-woman show. I can't really make gameplay stuff and it's really, really time consuming to do that. And I don't have the people. I'm a one-woman show. I can't really I don't have a team. I have me. So it's kind of hard to make bigger stuff that people want to watch if all people want to watch is gameplay or just me rambling about a card. I want to teach, I want to entertain, but I don't want to just regurgitate what 7,000 other people have done. And this, when I feel like I've been doing a good job at not doing that, but it's not really translating. And I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it's weird. And I know I have a hard time with consistency, and that's really the only way to get eyes on your art nowadays, and I'm working to fix it. But right now Magic is in a very scary place, and I don't know how to feel about making videos for it. It's hard to make videos for a game that keeps jacking up its prices, and the writing on the wall that Universes Beyond is going to overtake the game. I'm certainly not stopping, but it's just depressing. But hey, let me know what you think. Are you more hopeful than I am about the Magic the Gathering, or are you getting the same vibes that I am? Did I say Marvel Rivals or Yu-Gi-Oh! And it made the neurons in your brain light up like a Christmas tree? And that kind of shows you how long that I had this script written, by the way. Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you all so, so, so very much for watching, and until next time, au revoir.